Welcome to the news you can use. This is episode 26. Today we got Spec Tuner, platinum producer, multi-platinum producer,
Thank you.
Grammy nominated, one fourth member out of the group Basic Black, and in my eyes, a legend.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
sir. Yes, sir. We got T.Mike, we got Lyndrum, the host, and let's get it going. Let's get it going.
Let's get it
So,
popping.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So my first question, Spec, is when did you find your love for music and know it was for you?
Um, Columbus, Georgia. Like, and it wasn't that I was young. It was like I was in maybe 10th grade, something like that, 11th grade maybe. Um, and I played drums with my partner, Kelvin Bradshaw, who was in the drum line. He was the drum section leader. Um, and loved the drums, loved the sound and everything. But Columbus, man, everybody played drums. And I was like, man, it's too much competition. I would not do it. Kelvin had that gift for drumming and a few other people. I didn't have, that was my ministry. I couldn't do it. I was like, let me move to something else. So I moved to the trumpet. Like that a little bit, but then I moved to the piano. And then started listening to Prince and a lot of other things, man. My mother bought me this thing called a Porter Sound keyboard. It's like a little bitty small brown keyboard. It might have had 20 keys on it, like total, just 20. And I just started playing like 2-finger chords, man, and just listening to Prince at the time, just different people like that, man. It just Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. I just love that sound. I just love Prince solos. So I studied Prince solos. I tried to like learn his solos instead of the chords. I was learning solos, and I just really like, just then I really fell into love with music and with just the sound and just the instrumentation of different instruments, not just drums, it's just everything. And that kind of sparked everything. That was the like that lit the match. You know what I mean? It definitely lit the match.
Lyndrum?
So check it. When did you actually say? I know it was a lot of y'all back then, and how did the group form? Because there were four main, you know what I'm saying, the main members. How did y'all come together? Like, okay, you the person, you're the person, you're the person, and then throw everything together.
Well, it's a long story. I'm gonna try to make it short. Myself and Kelvin, we grew up together, high school and all that stuff, elementary school. Um, we wanted to start a band. We actually started a cover band, and within the cover, well, actually, even before that, I was in a cover band with like a few other people. This guy named Mike Taylor, Big Mike, that played bass. Smurf, Terrence Murphy, lead singer. Deanna Dawn, who sings for Parliament Funkadelic now. She was in the group. Oscar Allen, one of my best friends, he's passed. He was a percussionist. Vincent Bott, he does a lot of things. Alfred Williams, Al T, who now is an engineer for T-Pain, Ludacris, and all these big people. We actually started a group called Upcoming. And Tracy Pinto, she was a lead singer, called Upcoming. And we were a cover band in Columbus. And we started doing that and, was really loving that, really liking it. We really doing a lot of stuff in Columbus. Columbus is a small town. So being a cover band there, the way we sound and what we were playing, man, we were like getting a big name and everything. Mm-hmm. But for me, something hit me, man. I was like, I learned from playing other people's songs, but something in me I wanted people to like what I made, what I invented, what I created, what God put in me. And I kind of veered away from that a little bit. And then me and Kelvin talked a little bit, man. We was like, man, we ought to start a group. We ought to do this and that. And we was like, cool, let's try to get some things together, man. And a lot of people went in and out of the group. And then we, long story short, we ended up with myself and Kelvin and Mucho. And we, really started the band, started working on music, the three of us, just really getting music together. We didn't really perform or do any cover songs, stuff like that. We just, we just really started working on music. But the band the cover band that I was in, man, actually opened up for Keith Sweat and some other people, man, and Teddy Riley and Gene Griffin and Mucho was in that band as well. And Gene was like, man, we love the way y'all sound. If y'all ever come to New York, you know, come holler at me. You know,
Right.
we was like, all right, cool. Long story short, we found out that Gene grandmother or mother lived in Columbus. So we kind of like rode around Columbus for some years, man, just looking at stuff, just looking for something from New York, something from New Jersey, some kind of car, BMW, whatever. Crazy thing is, we saw a BMW with some rims on it at this house. We stayed at that house, spent overnight in the car. Gene came outside, myself, Kelvin, and Mucho. We went to Gene and was like, yo, he was like, y'all the dudes from the group. We're like, yeah. And Gene was pretty cool and everything. He let us hear some music. But it took that initiative, man, for us to like really, get into it and find Gene and just really go at our purpose. And
right.
there, Gene was like, man, y'all come to New York, I'll give y'all a shot. And a few of the other members, they were doing some other things. And we were like, man, we're going to New York. A few of the other members, besides myself, Kelvin, and Mucho, they were like, it's a long shot, man. I got things going over here. Columbus is a small town, so you kind of scared to move to a big city. We was like, we leaving. So we had another friend, her name was Lucretia Screevens, who's a doctor now. She played piano, and me and Mucho convinced her to drive us to New York on a weekend. So me and Mucho rode with her to New York, didn't have a place to stay. We went up there and we met. Well, actually, we caught back up with Abe, who was the drummer for Guy that we met in Columbus. Mm-hmm. We stayed with him over the weekend. We went to GEG, which is the Griffin Entertainment Group, on Monday. It was closed. We went Tuesday. G was like, excuse my friend, y'all motherfuckers really came up here. We was like, yeah, you said we up here, we get it, we here. He was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. Today doesn't have a band. He was like, y'all to bag a band for today. Who else y'all got? Man, we called Kelvin. He was working at a bank. He was a bank teller in Columbus. We called him. We called Sprague Williams, who's a big producer now. He's in Virginia. With Teddy. Yeah, Big Sprague, man, do a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Chris Williams, he did a lot of stuff for Teddy. He's still working with Teddy, did a lot of stuff on the Blackstreet album. We called him. Tim Smith, who was our manager, we called him. Gene flew everybody out, man. And we didn't go back to Columbus. When it was me, Mucho, and the young lady. When we were up there, we stayed up there. So we bought clothes. We were staying in the hotel for like 3-4 months.
Wow.
Yeah, for everything. Yeah, it's crazy. The crazy thing is, the young lady who took us up there, Lucretia, she was a piano player. She wasn't in the group. We convinced her just to drive us up there. How about she was one of the keyboard players for the group today? Because she drove us up there, they kept her in, and she was there for a couple of years with us.
Magic.
Yeah. That's how kind of like how it happened, man.
So let's go into some of the early days. Special Kind of Fool. Give us the story behind that. The whole vibe around that time.
We were in New York. We were working with Zan the Man. Y'all know he wrote a song called "It's a Man Thing" on our album as well. He had a project out called Zan. It was a self-titled project on Griffin Entertainment Group, Motown. He actually came up with the song "Special Kind of Fool." He came up with the whole vibe and everything. We heard it. We really didn't like the song. But I tell you, myself, Mucho, and KB, man, we was like,
hey, that's a jam, man. That's a classic.
But at that time, we were like New Jack Swing. It wasn't New Jack Swing. It wasn't there.
Yeah.
But we just didn't. We were just caught up in that Teddy sound because we were in the studio. Like, the crazy thing is, we was in the studio with Teddy working on music when they was at the height of Piece of My Love, Groovy, and all that stuff. When they was out doing shows, Teddy would come back to New York and he's in the studio. He was like, yo, y'all want to come through? We in there sitting looking at Teddy working on beats, Aaron coming in doing vocals. So we listened to this, and then G was like, yo, I got this song. And actually that song was supposed to have been on Guy, but they turned it down. So G was like, well, nah, man, we're going to put it on Basic Black. It's going to work. Trust me. And trust me. And D-Lynn know this. when Diesel got to them vocals, bro.
Woo!
When he sung them vocals, bro.
I just was telling T Mike that earlier. I said whoever that lead singer is,
Good God Almighty.
Yeah,
cold.
rest in peace, Daryl Diesel Adams.
R.I.P. Diesel.
That's I can't say
Diesel.
that is our brother, and D Lynn know from day one. Y'all don't know about me and D Lynn. We go way. We've been on the road. D Lynn was there from day one with Basic Black. He taught us. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But Diesel, when he got to them vocals, man, he sung that song, and he made it him. He made it his. You know what I'm saying? I didn't play anything on that song live. I played the keys and stuff. Mucho played the bass live, but Zan crafted and played every instrument on that record. Diesel came in and sung every vocal on that record. When we heard it, the finished version, man, we sat up there. We was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yep.
We from Columbus. They from New York. We understood. Okay, we have things we have to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because New York is totally different. Big cities, New York, Baltimore, anywhere up north, man, even LA. We've been to LA a lot of times. It's different from Columbus, Georgia, man. We had to like open up our brain and open up our minds, man, to like really appreciate, not being in one lane. And that taught us, look, y'all learn from this. And when I tell you Diesel killed them vocals, man, he killed it.
Right.
And real quick, it wasn't a single. Hold on, that song wasn't a single on the record. We didn't put that out as a single. The DJs pulled that song off and started playing.
Wow.
It was not a single. That's why you don't see a video for it. We did 3 videos off that album. We did not do a video.
Somebody made like a little wedding video to it. So that's the version I've been watching, and that one got views. So I don't know who that is.
Puffy?
Puffy did that?
Puffy did it. Snoop Dogg been playing it. Like, it's a lot of people, man. Condition, Stokely, he actually was doing a rendition of it as well. So we got a lot of people that actually go in and really love that song, man.
Monumental.
Yes. Shout out to them, man. T-Mike, you got a question, man?
Yeah. You know what? I got a question, man. I hope you guys can hear me. So I've worked with Spec for years, but one thing I think even though I do know, but this is not for me. This is for the audience. So when you guys were doing Basic Black and you guys were coming together as a group, one of my questions is, and this is for you particularly, because I know you can't speak for every other member of the group, but maybe you can. But what were some of you guys' influences to be able to do what you guys do in terms of the music? And, what was it that you grew up on that, got you interested to say, you know what, this is something that I want to do? Who are these artists that you were paying attention to back in those times when you were like growing up to really get you in that groove to be like, you know what, let me get behind this keyboard, let me make these beats, let me do this and that?
For me, man, growing up, at the time, once again, I had to say it was the time. It was Prince. Listen to their music. That's what really got me into the music scene and all that stuff. Yeah. We played a lot of that stuff. But when New Jack Swing hit, man, and when we were blessed when we took that chance, God was like, go to New York. We went up there, man, and we sat in with Teddy. When Teddy was at his height, that took me to a whole nother level, man. That's when I really, 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 really homed in on my craft and what I really wanted to do with the music joint. And with Basic Black, and I'm cutting it short, but with Basic Black, man, with that sound, when we first came out, a lot of people, y'all sound like Guy, y'all sound like this. But you got to realize, when the person who created New Jack Swing, the architect from New Jack Swing, Teddy Riley, when he ended up working on music, you from a small town and you sitting right next to this dude, I was like a sponge. Me and Mucho, we were like a sponge, bro. We were studying everything that he was doing. So when our album came out, it wasn't that Gene wanted us to sound like Guy or sound like this. We had to have that New Jack sound because Gene is the godfather of New Jack. He the one that put Teddy them on. But that New Jack sound, bro, that was embedded in me because I was there. I was with the person that created that sound, and you cannot help but create something from that. You know what I'm saying? So if you were there with, you know, working with the Mac, man, when they first started doing it, when Steve Jobs was creating it, you're gonna spin off and create something else just like the motherfucking Mac computer, but it's a little bit different, but it's like the Mac because you were right there with him when he created it and invented it. You know what I'm saying? So we were there when he was doing all that stuff, man, and we learned a whole lot from him, man. I mean, from this day, I use the MPC drum machine. Like, I got the MPC X. I went for the MPC, MPC 60, 2000, 3000. Now I got the X. And that was from day one. That's what Teddy used from day one. And I fell in love with that machine, man. And that's what I use. And I keep that New Jack sound and that vibe going because it's in me. This is what it is. I mean, I'd switch it up a little bit. If you hear the new album, Autograph, the new album we have out now, you hear a lot of different situations and everything, but it works though.
So before you met Teddy Riley and you were just inspired to do music, who were some of the people that helped you on along the way to get in that position?
Meaning to get to New York or get to what?
Just, you know, some of the first people to put you in the studio, some of the first people to introduce you to the guys in New York and Teddy and everybody.
Like, once again, when we moved to New York, man, we did rehearsals and everything, rehearsal halls. Teddy would come in and he would hear us practicing and stuff and give us, you know, tips and everything, how to do this and that. We go on the road, come back, you know, we got a little setup at the crib. Redhead Kingpin, if y'all know him, he would come in and like, yo, man, y'all work on some things, man, and we working with him doing some stuff, some you know, some little stuff. They had this group called Deja. I don't know if y'all remember them. We worked with them a little bit. Abstract. Mucho did a whole lot of stuff on Abstract. MC Light came through. Mucho worked with MC Light. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of people that was in that New Jack era that kind of that gave us like, just to keep moving, to keep going. And once again, we from a small town, man. So
right.
We think we talking everything good, but y'all, man, y'all sound different. We like, no, we sound like y'all. They was like, we don't say y'all. You know what I mean? But we not knowing. So we sounded, you know, y'all cut the country, even to this day, like even with the group today, man, love them brothers, man. They doing new music. And Big Bub, man, shout out to him. He really fought for us to be their bag up band. So he really put us on as well to get us in there, man. And they, Chief, Love, West, all them, they treated us like family. You know what I'm saying? So but they were like, yo, man, y'all from the South, but y'all country. You know what I'm saying? They used to mess with us all the time with it. But it was a love thing. It wasn't nothing crazy, it wasn't nothing funny because they were from New York and they never really went to the deep South. You know what I'm saying? So when we were learning from them and they were learning from us.
Wow. So let me ask you, while we on that, after the success of, well, you know, during and after the success of Basic Black, what are some of the connections you made and some of the people that you actually ended up doing production for and or working with per se?
The crazy thing is, when we were doing the Basic Black, when we were on the road, we worked with the boys. We was on road with MC Hammer. We was 357, Boys II Men. We went to Jamaica, did Soul by the Sea with BET. We was with Donnie Simpson, Heavy D. We was a lot of people. But at that time, Gene was like, go do y'all show, come right back. It was a tight knit. So the one thing I kind of missed out on is connecting with a lot of people. Tracy Spencer, Tony. It was a lot of people that we were talking to that we just really couldn't. Gene had a situation with us, man, where we really couldn't do a lot of stuff. But after that situation, man, we branched off and really got to Dallas, Austin, which is our homeboy, which is Kelvin's cousin. We really got to him when we moved back to Georgia, got with him. And actually, we were a group called Vaughn, V-O-N. Myself, Kelvin, a friend of mine named Idris, who was on the Basic Black first album on Nothing But a Party. He was a rapper. He was signed to Motown. He actually is on every Basic Black album that we put out. Another guy, Artie Hoyle, he was a part of the situation. But at the time, When we came back to Atlanta, it was myself, Kelvin, Idris, and this guy named Mike White, who was a writer and singer. We went to Dallas as a group. Dallas was like, man, I like the group, but I'm not looking for artists. Who did the production? Me and Kelvin. And he was like, yo, I want to fuck with y'all. So we talked to Mike, we talked to Idris, they were cool, and we started doing production. We signed to Dallas and did a lot of things with him. After Dallas, Dallas Austin Recording Projects called D.A.R.P Music, he closed that down, he shut it down. When he shut that down, we actually met this publisher named Leotis Clyburn, who was working for So Def. At the time, we got a CD to Leotis. He loved the CD, gave it to Jermaine. Jermaine was like, yo, I like him. Jermaine talked to Dallas. Oh, they good people, blah, blah, blah. We signed to So Def Music. Right when we signed to them, 2 weeks after that, bruh, we got a song with Whitney Houston, flew to New York, played more music. She picked another song, flew Missy in. We worked with Missy, and we did a few songs on Whitney Houston project.
Wow.
Yeah. It worked like that, bro. And we just kept going from there on.
You got a question, T-Mike?
Yeah. So after the Whitney Houston placements and stuff that you guys had, what were some of the other artists that you guys were working with after, you know what I'm saying, you guys did that? What happened, you know what I'm saying, after that, once you guys got, you know what I'm saying, into that level of production and writing? What happened after that?
Well, even before the Whitney Houston actually came out, the level of writing was still there. When we were signed to Dallas, we worked with Pink, but she was in a group called Wild Orchid. We did 2 songs with them. Enrique Iglesias, we did a song with him. We did 2 songs with Monica and a song with TLC. But at the time, Dallas had first refusal on everything, meaning whatever we did, he could either put it out or shelve it. So whatever he did, that's what he did. But when we went to Jermaine, we got the Whitney Houston joint. After we did that, we moved on. We did some stuff with Too Short. A few other rappers. We did a song with Snoop Dogg way back in the day. We did a song with Tony Braxton's that actually didn't come out. We worked with her. So Def Bass All Stars, which Jermaine did 3 different compilations of that. We had a song on every album on that. So Def put out a So Def producer compilation with me and Kelvin, Lil Jon, Candy, and the 2 guys from the 2 twins from Jagged Edge. So we did all that with them as well. And then after that, we realized, myself and Kelvin realized that being signed to other producers, you can only go but so far, because you can't be higher than the person who hired you.
Exactly.
So we realized that, you know what, we need to really branch off and just kind of do our own thing. And that's where we like, you know what, boom, let's move on and do some other things.
So what is your top 5 R&B group of all time?
Oh, Basic Black is one.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it like
Good
this.
answer.
Guy, Basic Black, Mink Edition, New Edition, in the time.
Word up.
Not in that order, but those are my 5 groups. Not in that order, but that's my groups.
All right, this is the segment where everybody who's hosting is going to ask you a yes or no question.
Okay.
And you can answer however you want. You just can't pick both.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I got a question. I got a question before we get into that real quick.
All right, go ahead.
As of today, who are some of the people you would like to work with, and or if anybody you would like to mention that's out right now that you would like, to work with or have already worked with?
I think the top on everybody's list is working with Beyonce. Just to be in the studio with. Yeah, because I do a lot of research, man, on just producers and YouTube people, this and that. So Beyonce would definitely be one, because she really she controls a lot of stuff what she does. This is not an artist, it's a producer. I would love to work with Brian Michael Cox. I watch him a lot on IG because he actually produces and he sits there and creates as you're watching him live. Would love to work with him. Chris Brown is definitely one. Chris Brown definitely one. Other than that, man, I'm it's just a lot of new artists, man. I'm just trying to work with a lot of undeveloped artists that's really trying to get into the game because they're hungry. They're really trying to get into it. So before I was like, oh, I want to work with all these big artists. Even though I named Beyonce and a few other people, it's a lot more of artists that are coming up that really have that hunger and that really want, that will show me and I can learn from them as well.
Exactly.
So that's my main thing.
I got a question to add on to D-Lin real quick. This is something I never knew. I don't know, but I'm curious about this. If Michael Jackson were living right now, right, and you had the opportunity to work with him, my question to you would be, what type of tempo of a track would you have produced on?
It definitely would be like a 130 BPM. It wouldn't be a up. It wouldn't be a ballad, but it would be something right in the middle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be something where he could dance to, but he can just feel. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want him to dance so fast. He has to move so much that the lyrics doesn't mean a whole lot. You know, I'm gonna give you a song. Not say I would do this on mic, but the song that Chris got out called "Sensational," that joint there, bro. When I tell you it hits the pocket,
Sensational.
Bruh. Yeah. That right there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit faster, but something like that, man. For Mike, man, it would be a nice tempo for me to work on him. Right. I would let it, because everybody else would probably try to come with that fast joint or the Lady in My Life joint. I'm trying to come in between it.
Okay. Let's go.
All right. So Teddy Riley or Babyface?
Teddy Riley.
Okay, go. Drum, you got
one? Make them hard. That's too easy.
Yeah. That's too easy. Do you make trap music?
Yes.
T-Mike?
Okay. What can I say? Because it's an answer. I mean, it's a question I can give him, but I already know the answer to that. So it'd have to be. That's a good question.
But the world don't know.
No, yeah. So oh, here we go. Let's try this one. But I already know he gonna say though. I can't even answer him that.
Come on,
I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Bobby Brown and Chris Brown.
Ooh. You know what?
Yeah,
I would say Bobby Brown because I did 2 songs on Whitney. I spoke to Bobby. Hold on. I was at Whitney house for 2 weeks. Right. I spoke to Bobby on the phone. Whitney came to Atlanta, did a show. She actually invited myself and my wife Angela to go out, come to the show. My wife at the time, she met Whitney and Bobby at the same time. And we got autographs on the same piece of paper with Whitney and Bobby name on the same thing. So I would say Bobby Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a good one.
Chris Brown is kind of the Bobby Brown, you know what I'm saying? The Bobby Brown of his time. Like it's
right.
The time.
Bobby,
you know what I'm
Bobby
saying?
is still here and Bobby is the GOAT. So I
right. Bobby the GOAT.
And one thing too, man, if we can do a quick second, if y'all don't mind, a moment of silence, because I do not want to disrespect. T-Mike will probably know this. I just mentioned my wife.
Yes.
She passed a couple of months ago, man. So can we please just give a moment of silence?
Absolutely.
For my kid. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate
it.
Real quick. Here we go. Bang. All right, appreciate it. That's all I needed.
Yes, sir. So pop locking or break dancing?
Break dancing.
All right, go ahead, drummer.
Well, do you like to work with are you willing to work with, like right now, like you said, just common artists that are coming up right now? Because like we have a lot of artists that are just getting into the game, and I know you mentioned something about it earlier, but do you have a specific range that they have to be, or this, that, or the third, or you just look somebody that's committed that you will work with, or how do you feel about that? Like the artists that are trying to come up now, like the ones we even have on our platform.
Well, what I do, bro, to be honest, it could be any artist. If I like them, it's a done deal. I go to Instagram, and T.Micheals know this. It's like I got 3 projects. I got one project that's out now, but I got 2 other projects coming out. But one project is it's a poetry project, spoken word project called Profit Loss Poetry Project, and it's really like island music, tribal music, kind of African music. But went to this page on IG. The young lady, her name is Robin Shaw. She's from New York, but she moved to Costa Rica. But I just love the way she was like creating her poetry, the way the sound of her voice. And I reached out to her. I was like, yo, I love your voice. If you ever think about doing music, putting music to your poetry, let me know. Took about 3 months, but she hit back. There's one thing, I was working out. I got the Oculus on, and I went online, and I forget the name of the group. It's called Kriya. I can't pronounce them. Creatine or Kriya something. These 2 girls, and was on the VR thing. And the girl, it was a rapper and a female artist singing. The girl who was singing, I was like, oh, she's dope as hell. When I got off working out, went to IG, I found her, reached out to her, was like, yo, I heard your voice on this VR thing. Yo, you looking for music? Let's work. She hit me back. Hey, send me some music. Send it to her. Yo, I love the music. Let's work. And so we started working with her. So it doesn't matter who you are. I'm like, look, I'm trolling on IG.
Absolutely.
Trying to find, you never know who's going to be the next big thing. You never know.
That's love.
Because
that's love.
Crazy thing, and one thing when I really started doing it, I'm a big Timbaland fan. Go to Timbaland page. He'll put beats out. Somebody will do a duet to his beat. He will reach out to that person who did the duet. That if it's dope, he start working with him. Right. So I'm like, if Timbaland can do some shit like this, I know I can. Like, let me start reaching out to people and work with them. My name is not as big as Timbaland. I'm not that, but I do have a catalog. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. So who are some of the new artists that's in the game right now that you like? Female or male, doesn't really matter.
Lucky Day, definitely one of my faves. It's not a lot of.
Are you listening to any hip hop, the NBA young boys, the popular people? That everybody.
You know what? I don't listen to a lot of
the Little Durks, the Blue Faces.
I would listen. I don't listen. I couldn't tell you the names of them because I don't listen to like. Let me go listen to the music. I will find out NBA YoungBoy and all this stuff, whatever their songs are hitting right now. But I will go find a producer. I go on Tidal and look at the credits and who produced the song. I go to the producer and I start listening to the production. I don't listen to I don't care what the artists. I ain't got nothing to do with their lyrics and them as like the baby and all them. I don't care what they're doing as a person, all this and that. They not doing their beats. I'm a producer.
Right.
I'm gonna go to their production.
Okay, so let me rephrase the question. Who are some of the new producers like the Metro Boomins?
Yep.
Who are some of your TM88s?
Yep.
Like who are some of the top dogs in your eyes? These new guys.
Those are
making multi-platinum hits.
Well, those are definitely 2. Metro Boomin, TM88, 808. Mike Will, I still like a lot of his production. The crazy thing is, you can't. Noah 40, who did a lot of Drake stuff, but you can't really name like the new hottest producers.
Right.
Because if you go to People Records, it's so many people doing. You never heard of this one person who did this great song on Chris Brown. You never heard of this one person who did this one hit song on this person. Like, I don't know who did the production on Water.
So one of my personal friends that I grew up with is Brody Brown. He did the album for Bruno Mars. Are you familiar with 1500 or Nothing?
1500. I know about them, and because I like Jay-Z and I listen to Show Me What You Got and the drummer for 1500 or Nothing, bruh, I look at that video to this day.
Yeah.
To this day. So I don't know like that producer, but I listen to Bruno Mars a lot because my daughter loves Bruno Mars. And I've seen a lot of videos with him producing or
He's
replaying.
part of the Silk
That's
Sonic group. He just won. I think he won 9 Grammys so far.
crazy. Oh, there's a lot of people that won Grammys, bro. That you would never know of that produce all these big songs.
Exactly.
So I can't, like, back in the day when you could name Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and all these people. You can't name them now because there's so many people now that's doing production that's really like killing the game with 1 song or 3 songs or 4 songs that you really can't. So many out here now, you can't do it. So I don't have a favorite. I listen to everybody.
Right.
So
I guess my next question to you, Spec, would be like, what's going on now? Because I know, but we want the world to know that the resurrection, Basic Black, what's happening?
Well, the Resurrection was the album we put out like 2 years ago, but we are back. The Resurrection was the album that actually was telling people we're back in the game. We have 2 new singers, Anthony Dupree, who's here with me now, Sean Black Jones, another phenomenal singer, and it was like, yo, we're back. We put out that 1 album, was the title album, Basic Black, the classic album. But before we did the Resurrection album, we talked to Diesel mom and his brother and everything, and they were like, "Yo, y'all keep doing what y'all doing, keep blessing, keep putting it out, keep the name going." So we titled that album, "The Resurrection," meaning that, hey, we're coming back up, we're back out, and that was the introduction to the new singers. But now we have a new project called The Autograph. When I tell you, when people hear this record, bro, it's everybody that hear it, they love it. Everybody that hears it, love it. We're actually gearing up to do some shows. We got a lot of show offers coming up. We're doing 2 videos right now, getting ready to throw that out there, doing a lot of production and a lot of post video stuff for the album and everything. But we're getting up to do shows, man, and
right.
And it's just music coming out with the group Basic Black, man.
Right. Who are the new members in the new formation?
Anthony Dupree, he's from Baltimore, Maryland. He's from Delaware. I'm sorry. He's from Delaware. I'm sorry. Actually, he's a singer-songwriter. A lot of the production, a lot of the stuff you see on television, he does. From Love and Hip Hop to a lot of stuff on Netflix. He's producing his own web series and some stuff on Netflix he's working on now. So he keeps us on our toes with what's going on in the industry. He does a lot of stuff. Sean Black Jones, another singer from Atlanta. He's put out a lot of solo projects himself and worked with a lot of people from Atlanta. So we actually, some people brought them to us, and me and Kelvin, we auditioned them, and even with them can sing, and with them they sounded great. They got the vibe and everything. We felt family with them, man. We brought them in, and so that's how they came about, man. And it's not that, and Diesel knows, D-Lynn knows this, it's not about replacing our boy Diesel. We could never replace him. It was just that we're keeping that legacy going on. And when we spoke to Diesel's mom and Diesel's brother, we told them the same thing. We could never replace him, but we would love to keep the music going and the vibe going. And she was like, yo, keep doing what y'all do. And so that's why we kept going. That's why we keep going.
Yes, sir. So back in the day, I see you guys had the high tops, man. Who idea was it for y'all to all get high tops?
Well, I had a high top.
Okay.
Kelvin thought he was Al B. Sure, so he had the curly joint. He thought he was the Al B. Sure of the group. I don't know if Mucho had a high top. He probably did have a high top. It was just a high top. And Diesel from New York, he had a high top with the cuts in the hair. We had the shaved eyebrows, and we got to New York, man. That was the vibe at the time.
That was a fashion, yeah.
Yeah. Redhead. Look at it, Redhead Kingpin. He had a high top. Aaron Hall, he had a high top at one point. So we was just kind of like, we was in that vibe, man.
That's what's up.
We was in that vibe.
So back then, were you producing on any of the tracks or writing any of the music?
When we were the Bagger Band for today, or what do you mean?
Yeah, back in the day when y'all were doing like special kind of food and
Well, no, we were just concentrating really on Basic Black, just really really getting that together, really just focusing on getting us out and working on our music, because once again, we were the bag up band for today. So when we're doing shows with Guy, the group today, Big Bub and West and all them, they was like, yo man, we got to hit, because if we not hitting, Gina move us to the next spot. So we would have to concentrate on our performances and practicing and all that stuff. So we would practice so much that we didn't have time to create music for other people. So we just really created music for at the time Basic Black, whenever we thought we would get a chance to, like, hey, let's come out. You know what I'm saying? Or let's try to get us a deal. So we really
how did you meet the host, man? You know, the legendary D-Lin, man. Tell me that story, man. How'd y'all meet?
Oh Lord.
No, I'm gonna let D-Lin. You know, my mind is crazy. I'm gonna let D-Lin tell the beginning of it. I don't know how we actually first met, but when I tell you when we met, bro, it was like I didn't know I had a brother. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh shit, I had a brother, mom. You didn't tell me I got it. And that's how it was. Like this dude got his own name from me. Like he the only person that called me this name from back in the day. But I'm gonna let D-Lin talk about this, man. You tell us about this.
Oh man. You know what's crazy? The crazy way it happened was I was dancing on this show in Atlanta called Starcase 91. And by Matthew Bell at the time. He was the executive producer.
Who?
And Matthew Bell.
Okay.
And Basic Black came on the show with Najee and somebody else at the time. They came to perform on the show. Wow. And Daryl, the lead singer, he had already watched the show, basically, I'm sure everybody, all the members did, because they were going on the show.
Right.
And he was like, yo, I was watching you on the show, man, and I see you're a dancer, choreographer, and I looked at the credits and it showed that you do the choreography and everything for the show, and we want you to leave and go on tour with us. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, but you got to stop this show right now. I'm like, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, so as of right now, I need your answer. You got to let me know if you're going to dance and do choreography for us. So you got to leave this show and come on the road with us. And I was like, oh my God. I said, look, let me think about it for a minute. He's like, all right, I'm going to give you a little time, but I'm going to hit you up. Hopefully you're going to let me know by the end of the night, but I'm going to give you a little time. But so long story short, man, like the next day I started telling people about it and they were like, you would be a fool not to do it. And Diesel was so cool, man. Diesel, Spec, Mucho, KB, they were all like the big brothers I never had. Like they protected me on the road. They didn't let me get involved with stuff I was too young to be involved in. Right. All of that. So it was like, I was like, yo, all right, I'm gonna do it. And long story short, man, that's how I started doing the choreography. Because they had at the time they had a girl doing backup, doing dancing and stuff like that for them. What was her name?
Yankita.
Yankita, yeah. Yankita.
Yankita's sister is Ishi from Arrested Development.
Arrested Development, exactly. So Diesel was like, nah, I want to vibe like, and all the fellas agreed that it would be a doper vibe if we had like all guys for Basic Black, like, for the women and, for the ladies, and, it's a guy thing, So that's how it all happened, man. And lo and behold, I became the choreographer, not just for my stuff, but I started teaching Spec and the guys how to do choreography.
So the crazy thing is, when y'all see None But a Party video, Whatever It Takes video, She's Mine video that's out right now on all platforms from back in the day. D-Lin choreographed all that stuff. And that's not just being a choreographer, man. Like I said, he was a brother. We learned a lot from him. Even fashion. Like I didn't like the crazy thing is I didn't know anything about Doc Martens and them baggy ass pants and them sagging all that shit. D-Lin pulled up. When I tell you, he was a little dude. His pants was like 5X large. I'm like, dude. He's like, no, this the vibe. and he really got us into like to the fashion and everything. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't just a choreographer, man. He really came in and taught us, you know, what to do. You know what I'm saying? So the great thing was, man, we were open to listen to what he was doing. We you know, appreciated his expertise in what he was doing, man, because, you know, he's a beast in it. I can't say he was a beast. He still is. He's a beast in what he does.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And love him to this day, bro. He knows.
Man, it's mutual. That's my big brother for life, man.
For
life.
For life. Yes, sir.
I know you you know my other co-host that I got below me, T.Mike. So how did you and T.Mike meet? Go ahead, give me that story.
Hey, once again, I'm older, so he gonna have to tell you how we started.
Yeah. Go ahead, T. Go ahead, tell it.
T.
No, he doesn't remember, man. We met the first time we met. It was an introduction. We were at D.A.R.P, and he was just walking into D.A.R.P, and I was there with my group. We had Chris on the other show, so we were there at D.A.R.P trying to get our group in, trying to, you know what I'm saying, get a feel for what was going on. And Spec walked in. He was going to the front desk, and I just walked up to him and said, "Hey, man, you produce?" He was like, yeah. So he gave me a card and all that. And then lo and behold, when I finally did get in contact with him, he was living like literally like 2 minutes down the street from my older brother, God rest his soul. They were, we were like that close around each other. And the first time I ever walked into the studio, it was with him and KB, and he did this track. And I got behind the microphone, man, and wrote the song called "Nobody's Perfect." That was the first song I ever recorded with him. So that's how it started.
Yeah. It started like that, and it's still going. And throughout that journey, we got like the number 8 song on the Disney soundtrack on Billboard. Another Cinderella story. So that's another.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm waiting on T-Michael to get his clap.
Yeah. I'm working on that
button yet.
Yeah. That's one thing about it. Like we went from, even before we even got on that. I don't know what came first. No, what came first was Penny, right?
Penny came first, yeah.
So we were up at the radio station at Q100 for like, man, 8 to 16 weeks. They would call us up every week and say, "Hey, come up here on like you had to listen to the radio." And they'd be like, "Come up here on Tuesday or Wednesday." So we would go up there and we would do that. And then we was up there for like 16 weeks. We beat out, you know, like I said, what was it?
Britney Spears.
Myself and I, Britney Spears, Beyonce. Yeah. We were beating them out. Like we went from, I think they had like the top 5 of 5. So we went from number 5 song to number 3. They top 5 of 5 in Atlanta. And then after that, we also did the morning show song for 95.5 The Beat. So, yeah.
But see, the one thing he's leaving out, before the song even got to the radio, T.Micheals went up there and got the receptionist and gave the CD at the time to the receptionist. She heard it. Yeah. She loved it. And she gave it to the program director. Right. They called T.Micheals. T.Micheals called us. And that's when we all started. Like, we was at the radio station like 2 or 3 times out the week. They wanted us up there. And this is before K-pop really hit big, because she's an Asian artist. And this is before K-pop really hit. We was doing this back then.
Wow. Yeah, T.Micheals being modest, but he got a lot up his sleeve, you know.
For real.
Just humble, man. I appreciate it.
I love it.
50 years of hip hop, man. How you feeling about it? How you feeling about the status of R&B right now?
I love R&B, man. It's if you really dwell into it, it's a lot of R&B music that's out there that's really killing the game, bro. You know, they pushing the hip hop, they pushing that, but it's a lot of R&B music, man. That's really out here. That's making noise. So I'm waiting for R&B to really get its shine. 50 years of hip hop is amazing. It's great for the culture, but R&B got to R&B got to get the shine, man. We're waiting for the R&B 50 years or 100 years, whatever you want to call it, of R&B.
R&B, exactly.
That's next. And there's a lot of people doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, who are some of your favorite R&B artists that's out, that's new right now?
Once again, I definitely want to say Lucky Day, definitely Chris Brown. Man, I listen to those a lot, man. Stokely.
We talking about new, like maybe just came out in the last year or two. You know, they've been established for a while.
Man, is October London. You know, I like one or two. I like one or two of his songs. I listen to his whole album. It's cool, but like he might be one that I really like. But as far as R&B, man, I mean, I still like the old school artists. I still like the people that seasoned in it, because a lot of new school R&B coming out, man. It's I wouldn't consider the Bruno Mars R&B, even though he does a lot of R&B stuff. It's not a lot of new school R&B artists to me that's really paving the way.
What about The Weeknd? You got like Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez, to me, he not R&B. The Weeknd,
you don't feel like he R&B?
He more pop than R&B.
Yeah,
what about like
we talking
Eric
about R&B
Bellinger?
music. We talking
Eric
about real
Bellinger.
R&B music.
I want to shout out Lady. You know, for me, I don't know what it is. They haven't dropped another single yet. I'm still waiting on them, but I like they're a female band, and I really respect what they're doing.
Right.
I like
Jasmine Sullivan, my baby, man.
Yeah, but you gotta realize Jasmine Sullivan, she's been out for a minute. She's still
right.
It's not right. Her's a good artist. That's
her is wonderful. Right.
But then you got Usher, but Usher's he been in the game for years, but he's still killing the game.
Oh, Coco, Coco, I like Coco too.
So are you guys looking to work with any new artists, like undeveloped R&B artists? You know, I be coming across a lot of them. You know, it's a guy named Charlie B.R.E, and he makes like old school R&B. I'm talking about like classic old school R&B, but he's like fairly young. He plays instruments, and I'm sure he's done a lot of great stuff. But I feel like people like him need some shine. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm willing to work with any new up and coming R&B artist. I don't care who it is, even pop, because I do EDM. I got a EDM project that's out. I got a kind of a pop kind of project that's about to come out called Splice of Heaven. That's about to come out, and I got the poetry project, which is totally different. But I will work with any artists that are hungry, but they can't come into the game talking about, yo, this is how it need to be. Out, you know, if it ain't like this, I'm not doing it. They got to be open. Just like I'm open to work with you. You have to be open to like, hey, here's some of my ideas. Let's collaborate and make a good effort. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're gonna be stubborn in what you do, you be stubborn in what you do. I'm gonna be stubborn with my Megan Thee Stallion platinum plaque, Whitney Houston plaque, all my shit that I'm doing. I can drop names, and I don't like dropping names, but I can drop a whole lot of names too.
Oh no, we're gonna get into it. So drop some of them names you got them platinum tracks with right now, so the people know what it is. Drop the names.
The Megan Thee Stallion, once again, the Whitney Houston, the Disney, Selena Gomez, Too Short, you know, on that, the platinum plaque, the basic black, you know, we got the gold joint. For us, the plaques, so that's everything there. But working with Pink, Tony Braxton, Enrique Iglesias, Dallas Austin, Jermaine Dupree, the twins from Jagged Edge, Silk from Lil G, Bobby Valentino. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just I work with a lot of people, man.
Keep going. Come on, keep going, Spec. It's more than that. Come on,
that's
Spec.
enough. That's enough.
Hey man, we gonna clap it up on that one, y'all.
That's enough. Like,
we gonna give a legend his flowers right here, a living legend. You know, a lot of our legends ain't living right now, and you're a living legend.
But the crazy thing is, man, to be doing this, when we first dropped our album was 1990. It's about to be 2024, and we just got a song placed on Megan Thee Stallion in 2023 that's still popping.
Right.
So to be doing music from 1990 to now, you know what I'm saying?
The energy is high.
Exactly.
That's a feat into itself, man. So I'm happy about people still loving the music and still working with, like I said, I got new artists coming out, man, and new projects I'm working on that, you know, that's coming out. So I'm happy that people still loving what I'm doing.
Hey, don't stop. Keep going, man. You're doing a great job so far.
Hey,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying?
God keep blessing me. I'm gonna keep doing it, because some days, bro, you know, when you got a gift, man. Because like I used to take lessons for piano, and at one point I was like, I don't want to learn how to go here and go there and do this. Right. I want the feeling to take me there, and I stopped taking lessons. And when I stopped taking lessons, bro, that's when really music kind of flourished and the vibe kind of went through me. So,
I got a question, Spec. I was telling Lyndrum and I was telling T.Micheals, you know, music don't give you the goosebumps and that feeling no more.
Yeah.
You know, why is that? What happened?
Because people are taught to go here. play B flat minor, play A flat. They taught to go here. Oh, this goes with this. But when you're taught to like just vibe, man, let's just vibe and just work on something and just let it flow. Even though you're not playing it right, you don't supposed to do that there, but it works. It feels good. Just let it go. And that's what I do. That's the type of music I do, man. And the crazy thing is, when you do music like that, for me, if three or 4 days go by and I can't create anything, bruh, I start praying because I'm nervous because I'm like, God, is this it?
Right.
Look, I got
please. I still want to do music. Can you please put something in me so people can hear it, hear what we're doing? You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, man, boom. You know, I get that feeling back, and when it comes, man, you just create. You just create.
So Quincy Jones or Ray Charles?
Ooh, Ray Charles. Because reason why, his had to be a gift from God because he didn't see what he was doing, bro. He didn't look at those. He didn't look at the minor keys and the major keys like, okay, because some you can remember patterns. Like you can remember like 1, 3, 4, 6, 9. And you know this key is 1, this key is 3. You know the keys. So when you're looking at it, you're just remembering what you learned. Like, I'm gonna hit these keys. But if you can't remember the pattern, if you don't know, if you're walking down the street, if you don't know to turn right here, and if you have to go by a feeling or what you hear,
you know it's God.
You know it. So definitely Rachel.
Okay, I got another question. Do you feel like Puffy ever really produced a beat?
No. He's not a producer. He's
visionary.
A coordinator.
Visionary,
Yes, which is different.
I do that sometimes. No disrespect to Puff, shout out to Puff.
But it's no disrespect even to Puffy or to you, because sometimes I can't get people in the studio, but you might be able to get all them great minds together to make that hit.
Yes.
So that's a gift that you got to make people come together.
Okay, with that being said, who you got? Jermaine Dupree or Puff Daddy if they do a versus?
Puff Daddy.
What? Wait. I need to know why.
Man, for me, bro, Puff Daddy, because I loved Mary J. Blige remixes that he did, the Biggie stuff that he worked on, the Jodeci stuff that he worked on. Bro, it was a lot of artists that he really pushed out. You know what I'm saying? Even though Jermaine is a producer, Jermaine had Crisscross, Escape, Jagged Edge. He worked with a few other people, man. But Puffy, that Jodeci joint, man, when he really crafted them to get them a certain way, but that took me to a whole nother level.
Okay, do you feel like Dr. Dre really makes his beats, and is he a self-proclaimed greatest producer of all time, or is he really that?
That's a hard one, but he's a producer. He's a great producer. I give him that. But you got to realize, he will say, you have to read between the lines. He doesn't play instruments. He could program. He could program his ass off, and he might play 1 or 2 notes. But you listen to his music, it's live bass. It's Fender Rhodes. It's all these lead sound that he does not play. So you have to have people like myself come in that play keyboards and play piano.
Exactly.
I'll start playing
I'll
start playing a vibe, and he might be like, no, I don't like that. I like what you did earlier. But the key is, I like what you did earlier.
Right.
He heard it. He heard what you did, and like, yo, do that. That sound better what you did earlier. So he have that expertise to, like, instead of you going with this version, you went with his version. But it's still something that you created, that you played.
Right.
It's technical. I'm sorry, but it gets there.
So how do you feel about the culture right now with hip hop starting off being our culture, and then nowadays when you look around, you don't really see us, or you don't see hip hop outside. You still see graffiti, but ain't nobody on the corner battling no more. Nobody got the big boom boxes. Where is hip hop living now? Is it only on the internet, or is it still living in the street?
Man, it's on the internet.
It's on the internet.
Yeah, a lot of people beefing on the internet. A lot of stuff is on the internet. That's where you make your money. It's not really a street thing right now, which is crazy. It's really on the internet.
I mean, when you ride down the street, do you still hear loud music coming out of cars and You know, just the feeling of hip hop. Do you still see it anywhere?
I see the fashion, but with the fashion, I see earbuds, I see headphones, and then listen to the music.
And
I
you
don't hear
definitely
the.
don't see boom boxes.
No, you don't see boom boxes. I don't. Sometimes you hear it coming out out the cars, but really a lot you really don't hear it. You know, I hear it a little bit, but I see it more headphones, the way people dress, stuff like that. You don't see that much graffiti. You know, well now because of the 50 years of hip hop, you see a lot of graffiti now because you know that's what's going on. But other than that, you really don't. I really didn't see a lot here in Atlanta.
So how do you feel about club dance culture? Do you feel like people still dance in the club? Is a dance record even a hit or is it just a TikTok song?
Um, there's no dance culture no more, man. Not at the clubs.
Nope.
Yeah, it's it's not. And I used to go to clubs. I really don't go too much anymore because nobody dances. You know, if I go to a club, I might go there to hear what my mix might sound like, not to see if people like it. I'm just trying to hear what the mix sound like because people
Right.
not dancing no more. You know, so you got to go to TikTok. You got to go, throw shit on IG or whatever to really get people dancing to it.
And then too, it was the dance culture was normally about who can come up with. Everybody had their own style. It wasn't like everywhere you go, everybody doing the same dance.
Right.
The beauty of it was almost like being an artist. Everybody had their technique, their own vibe, their own sound, their own style. And that's what made us eclectically beautiful. Knowing that I could go over here and hear that different. I could go over here and see something different. I could go there over here and see something different. The beauty of black music was everybody was different. So you really got
Right.
art from everybody.
Right. True.
And all of it was appreciated.
So do you think nowadays is it more about the talent or is it more about the popularity?
Definitely popularity. Hey, I got to get my power cord real quick. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna come back and answer that. But y'all go ahead real quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how do y'all feel? What do you think, D-Man?
Popularity. T, what you think?
Oh, I'm trying to say popularity, man. I think it was a popularity thing, man. More so than anything else. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So how do y'all feel about when artists go to these radio stations and they put on like they freestyling? Do you think that's real or are they rapping written
Yo,
raps
I
that's
would
already?
like to make an announcement. I'm sorry to cut you off. I would like to make a worldwide announcement. Freestyle means when you can walk in a room and spit a rhyme off the top of your head. If I grab something and go phone, if I tablet, if it's about grabbing objects no matter what. If somebody threw up a word, you could take cards, index cards, and write a word on it, and that person could rhyme, and it can still sound good, and just grab things out of the environment, out of the atmosphere, out of your head, and continuously flow, making everything sound nice. Freestyle has nothing to do with something you remember. That's the word. Thus the word free style. That means everything is floating in the air and you just grabbing words and you put them together as you go along.
Right.
The word freestyle has been so, as Martin would say, misconstrued.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Yo, check out this new freestyle from so and so. That's not a freestyle. Look, and see, that's what I'm saying. They're dumbing hip hop down so much. It's irritating. Like, come on, let's keep it a little bit authentic. Freestyle is when you grab it.
You got them saying, yo, check out my freestyle. And they start freestyling, but they part in the background saying the same shit they saying.
He rapping with them. That's not a freestyle. It's
not a freestyle.
Y'all practice that in the car on the way over here.
All right. So how do you feel about the culture right now of the female hip hop with the Gorillas, the Sexy Reds, the Christian Rocks? Give me your input on that.
Man, you about to get me in trouble because I don't like any of it, bro. To be honest with you. To me, I just don't like it. The subject matter they talking about, And the crazy thing is, women, black men are putting black women down and all this and that. But when you go hear the Glorillas or Sexy Red, listen to what they're saying. It's not us doing all this damage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they got to take on some of that some of that purpose, man. I just don't like. I just really don't like a lot of that stuff. That's some of the female artists that's coming out, that rap artists.
Some of that responsibility for look at my this, look at my ass, look at my feet, look at my booty hole brown.
How do you feel about rap artists that's pregnant on stage twerking? Is that okay?
You know that's not okay.
I'm just asking, man.
My thing is, you can be pregnant and you can walk around and cover up and be nice and still rap and do what you got to do, and I'll appreciate that. But when you out here twerking this and that and you looking crazy, I don't like it. Once again, going back to Beyonce, when she was pregnant, you didn't even know she was pregnant. To the end of the song, she revealed she was pregnant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was classy.
Classy.
So yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. You giving birth, you having a baby, but it's a certain way you gotta, man. You just can't just go out there twerking and you got your whole stomach out looking all crazy, man. Nah, I'm not with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. So with this new generation of I call it murder rap.
Right.
How do you feel about that? The drill scene. Do you feel like the music is really fueling these murders between young black men?
The crazy thing, I love the drill music. I've been studying it, been listening to it. I listen to a lot of UK drill.
Hey, I love Chief Keef, man.
Yeah. So I listen to a lot of UK drill, man. And once again, I listen to the production. Listen to the production, to the music.
Young Chop.
Yeah, so I really don't listen to a lot of the lyrics and what they saying. I'm a producer, so I listen to more of the music to see what I can do to.
So from a producer side, how do you feel the vibrations is coming out? Is it a positive vibration or is it a negative vibration in just the beat in general?
I wouldn't say negative. I would say more aggressive. It's definitely a more aggressive beat.
Like war music, like it's time to go to war.
Yeah. But you can go to war in a good place because you're trying to protect your tribe. You're protecting your people. You will go to war, and that's from a good spirit, from a good place. If you are just causing havoc on anybody, you don't care. That's a problem. So it's a different thing when you say war. It's a different thing.
Yes, sir. Because black men are dying at an alarming rate, and for our ancestors to fought for us to have freedom, and not be segregated. Why do you think black people are segregating themselves from each other now?
It happens every day. I mean, it's still what you have on, what you wearing, how you looking on IG. Once it goes back to the internet, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and half of the Joneses wearing fake Gucci and fake this and fake that. You know what I'm saying? But these other sites are making billions and millions of dollars off of our money and what we're doing, which is crazy. I don't understand why we still don't have a black designer that's on the level of Louis Vuitton, on the level of Gucci. Not saying they're a higher level. I'm just saying that because that's what I see on video.
We had one, and they knocked them down, and nobody supported them. We had Kanye, Virgil passed away.
Right.
But nobody support. When it's time to support, people turn their back and go buy Gucci and go buy Balenciaga.
Yeah, and why is that? Why we can't support our own? That's the thing.
Is it a black hate syndrome where people self-hate so they can't see the next person of color succeed? Because I go to 7-Elevens, I go to gas stations, I go to smoke shops, and 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be black owned.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even here in Atlanta, it's not a lot of black-owned stuff. But I can say in Atlanta, a lot of vegan shops, a lot of stuff that are popping up, they're getting a lot of love.
Right.
A lot of love from the black community. But once again, when it goes back to fashion and stuff like that, we don't get that love, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's embedded that you have to have a Gucci, you have to have, a Louis, you have to have Balenciaga. I don't know what it is, man.
Well, we got people like Desto Dub, who I seen for myself in LA selling clothes out of the trunk of his car. And now
Right.
he owns a couple stores on Rodeo, and all the
Oh, that's
top
dope.
rappers are wearing it. He got the awful lot of cough syrup brand. Shout out to Desto. It's people out there. It's just, getting Jay-Z to wear it. Or
Right.
getting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
that's when you got it solidified.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need that support. It's no hip hop union. It's really nothing. 50 years of hip hop. What have you seen that change since the beginning of hip hop till now?
Right. Yeah. Not too much, man. You
Yeah,
know, the music and the artistry changed. You have any. I hate to say it, when you go back to Glorillaz and Sexy Reds and all. It's like if you come up with one song that's kind of hot, boom, you can get a number 1 record.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is
how
crazy.
watered down the game is.
Right. Well, even Neo was on an interview a couple of weeks ago. I was looking at, and he said that the music industry was an elite group. You just could not put out a song or get in the game because you're a creator. You have to know your craft. You have to know how to sing and dance, know how to write your raps, know how to do certain things before you can get in this group or be a part of this community. But now, hey, if I got a phone and I got a beat maker on my phone and I can record my vocals, shit, I just throw anything out and if it stick, it stick.
Hey, shout out to the people because I love to see our people, whether they good artists or not, as long as they black and they proud, they out there winning, win. You know what I'm saying? But be conscious about the message you putting into your music
Oh yeah,
because we all got kids, we all got
right.
grandkids, and they listening to it. So,
Definitely agree with you on that.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So, how do you feel about this new Kanye album? Have you heard anything on the new Kanye album?
I haven't heard of any of the new production, man, but I'm a Kanye fan, bro.
Yes, sir.
Like
Me too.
from day one. I still watch that documentary to this day to hear shit that I missed throughout the whole documentary. And to me, he's a genius with that production and what he was saying because what he said when he first started doing that documentary, it happened. Everything that he said, it happened pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's a genius with his production, man.
Yes,
You
sir.
can't take that away from him.
Do you guys got any more questions?
Man, I'm cool. I think my brother has given us a world of information and a whole lot of love.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
What about you, T. Mike?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he answered everything that what I'm saying. You asked him, man. We asked him, so yeah. I think
Yes,
we
sir.
good on that.
So on the new
Oh,
music use,
what's
man.
next? What's next?
What's
What's
next?
next?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let us know
what's next?
what's next.
What's next?
We're actually about to do shows. We're rehearsing right now, Basic Black. The
Right.
Autograph album is out right now on all platforms. Go stream it, download it. It's definitely out there. We're rehearsing right now to do shows. We're working on new music as well. The poetry project that I put out called Prophet's Lost is out right now. The artist is named Robin Shaw. Go check her out. Anthony Dupree, we have a new single coming out on him, who's a part of Basic Black, but he's a solo artist as well. So he's got some things coming out. Just working on a lot of different stuff, man. A few movie soundtracks we're placing on, trying to get that stuff together, man, and just loving life, man. Just adjusting to what's going on. Once again, I had just a time, a couple of months ago with my wife passing, man. So I'm still, going through that situation with my family, my son, my daughter, mother-in-law. Just really, I'm finding I'm a spiritual person, man. But right now, I'm really getting into God, man, and to what's going on, and I know music is one thing that's in me that I'm gonna keep doing. So if y'all new artists out there, hit me up, Spec Tuner Music at gmail.com. Hit me up on IG. Just look at me, Spec Tuner Music everywhere. Spec Tuner, just Google that, you'll find me. And I'm willing to work with everybody who's willing to work.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. And I enjoyed this, man. I highly appreciate it. And prayers to you and your family.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to do this again whenever you got a project coming out or whenever you want to come on. You're more than welcome to the news you can use. Shout out to the co-host, man, for making this happen. And we're gonna get up out of here. Until another time, like, subscribe, and make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend, because that's how people gonna know. And if you're a new artist and you want to get a little shine, you need some promotion, you need marketing, you need beats, you need a songwriter, come on to the news you can use, hit one of our emails or hit one of our Instagrams, and we'll gladly help you out and assist you. And this is the News You Can Use podcast, and we out.
We out. Peace.
Much love, brothers.
Much love, brothers.